Canelo Munguia, Saturday, May 4th, live on PBC pay-per-view on Prime Video.
Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the MGM Grand here in Las Vegas, Nevada, as Canelo Promotions presents our final press conference for the All-Mexican Showdown, the undisputed super middleweight world titles on the line. Let's meet our main event fighters. First, with the record of 43 victories, 34 wins by knockout, no defeats. He is the former 154-pound world champion, the undefeated all-action fighter from Tijuana, Baja California, Mexico, Jaime Munguia. All right, now it is time to meet the king of boxing with a record of 60 victories, with 39 of those coming by knockout, 2 defeats and 2 draws. He is a 4-division world champion, and he is the current undisputed super middleweight world champion, El Orgulloso Guerrero de Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico, Saúl Canelo Álvarez. All right, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us here. Alongside both of these men, first with Team Munguia, we have the chairman and CEO of Golden Boy Boxing with Óscar de la Hoya, the CEO of Zanford Boxing Promotions, Fernando Beltran, Hall of Fame trainer Freddie Roach. And then for Team Canelo, we have Louis de Cubas Jr., alongside trainers Jose Chepo Reynoso and manager and trainer Eddy Reynoso, as well as Canelo Alvarez. So we are set to go. This fight week will be a 12-round main event this Saturday, May 4th, from the T-Mobile Arena. It is a PBC pay-per-view event on Prime Video. You do not need a Prime membership to access the pay-per-view. You can also purchase the pay-per-view on DAZN.com. You can also contact your local cable and satellite providers to order the pay-per-view, as well as ppv.com. This event is promoted by Canelo Promotions and TGB Promotions in association with Golden Boy Promotions and Zanford Boxing Promotions. If you do want to be inside the arena, T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, you can still purchase tickets at AXS.com. We also want to thank all of our sponsors for helping make this event a jam-packed week here on Cinco de Mayo Fight Week. First, we want to thank Corona Premier, the exceptional light beer. It's fight night. Light it up. Furiosa, a Mad Max saga, only in theaters May 24th. VMC Tequila Cocktails, el origen ante todo. And Value Casa de Bolsa. El Mexicano brand products, bringing authentic sabor to your table. Somos El Mexicano. And O'Reilly Auto Parts, professional parts people. And sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook, the crown is yours. Now, before we begin our Q&A, we do want to let you know, for those of you that aren't here and are at home watching on the PBC stream, you can feel free. We are going to pick one question on the stream for each of our fighters, Jaime Munguia and Canelo Alvarez, to ask later on in the press conference. So send in your questions. It will be randomly chosen, and we will ask both Munguia and Canelo thoughts from the fans. But first, let's meet some of the men that are heavily involved with helping put this mega fight together. First, this man has been a part of some of the biggest events in boxing history. He is the president of TGB Promotions, Mr. Tom Brown.
Thank you, Miguel. Not quite the same as Ray, but we'll live with it. Good afternoon. Welcome, everyone. This Saturday night at the T-Mobile Arena, two all-action Mexican warriors collide for the bragging rights of a proud fighting country in one of the most anticipated Cinco de Mayo fights in years. This all-Mexican showdown will be nonstop action from the opening bell, as both fighters show the world the only thing that matters is victory. Canelo Alvarez is regarded as one of the greatest boxers of all time, not just in Mexico, but worldwide. He's already had an incredible career, winning multiple world titles across 4 weight classes. He's the first and only boxer in history to become a 168-pound undisputed champion. He's coming off a dominating performance last September over Jermell Charlo in a historic battle of undisputed versus undisputed. And on Saturday, we have undisputed versus undefeated. And I can promise you one thing about this fight. It will be a great fight, but there will be no passing of the torch. Not on this weekend, not in front of this crowd. Cinco de Mayo weekend belongs to the pound-for-pound king, Canelo Alvarez. We'll see you all Saturday. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. And now we will hear from a man that has been heavily involved in Jaime Munguia's career. He has been there from the beginning. Let's please welcome the CEO and president of Zanfer Boxing Promotions, Mr. Fernando Beltran.
Good afternoon to everyone. It's a real honor being here in this tremendous fight representing Mexico on Cinco de Mayo. I believe that it's going to be a sensational fight, and it's for pride in country because both fighters got a lot of pride. Both, like Tom says, this is the undisputed against the undefeated, and we came here to win. Since they offered us the fight, we took the fight because we know that we can win this fight because Munguia is a young fighter. He's 27 years old. He's taller, and he's got better reach, and he's a real warrior. He was Fight of the Year last year, and honestly, he came this weekend to win this fight, and we're gonna win this fight. Muy buenas tardes a todos. Quiero darle la bienvenida a toda la prensa. Estamos muy orgullosos y muy contentos de estar en esta gran pelea. Creo que esta pelea es por honor y patria, porque los dos peleadores tienen mucho honor y la verdad, en una fecha tan importante para México como lo es el 5 de mayo, creo que los dos van a defender ese gran honor que tienen y creemos nosotros firmemente en que podemos ganar la pelea. Desde el momento en que nos ofrecieron la pelea, la firmamos porque creemos que la podemos ganar. Jaime es un peleador fuerte, es un peleador más alto, más joven, con más alcance y lógicamente por eso creemos que podemos ganar la pelea. También pelearon con un mismo peleador en un lapso de 8 meses y pues ahí vimos que teníamos el alcance de poder levantar la mano y poder decir que estamos a la altura del gran Canelo Álvarez, a quien respetamos y lógicamente es un gran legado el que está haciendo todavía y que está escribiendo y pues estamos muy orgullosos de estar en este gran evento. Les deseamos lo mejor también al Team Canelo, pero venimos a ganar, vamos a ganar y el sábado que viva Jaime Munguia. Muchas gracias.
And now we will hear from boxing legend as well as chairman and CEO of Golden Boy Promotions. Please welcome Óscar de la Hoya.
Thank you very much. Please sit down. Thank you very much for being here for what I truly believe will be the changing of the guard of Mexican boxing from Canelo Álvarez to Jaime Munguia. My sole purpose in this promotion is to support Jaime, an undefeated, incredible talent who deserves the stage and spotlight at this point of his career. However, I would be remiss if I didn't respond to the man I used to promote. He seems to have trouble remembering who helped him become a true global star. To be clear, I have nothing but respect for Canelo Alvarez as a fighter. His record and abilities speak for themselves. But he has spent much of the last 2 months insulting me rather than promoting this fight. So I'll make it a little bit easier for him. Yes, I have faced a lot of challenges in my life. Yes, I've been to rehab several times. Yes, there were some really low points in my life, and yes, there were times that work was not my priority based on my mental health, which I had neglected for so long. But that doesn't change the fact that Golden Boy built Canelo Alvarez, period. The company you fought under for decades has always had one name, and it's mine. So put some fucking respect on it. As for Jaime, he has always dared to be great, just as he's this Saturday night. And this serves as a bit of a full circle for him. Remember when Jaime was 21 years old, volunteered to step in against Triple G, and Canelo failed 2 drug tests? Though Jaime wasn't allowed to fulfill his dream, 2018, on Saturday night, he will do just that. Fulfill his dream and be world champion.
Tienen que escribirle lo que tiene que decir este pinche maricón, cabrón. Tú lo escribes. ¿Qué lo escribes, pendejo? Tú no escribes nada, cabrón. Tú no haces nada. Tú no haces nada.
Yo lo escribí.
Eres un pendejo, eso es lo que eres.
Eres un baboso, cabrón.
Eres un pendejo, cabrón, porque estás nomás ahí. Los que hacen todos son los que están detrás de ti. Tú eres un pendejo nomás con la imagen, idiota.
Sí.
Cabrón.
Siéntate, güey.
All right, let's have everyone take a beat a little bit, and we will move on with our show. So first, now we want to turn our attention to a man that's recently joined Jaime Munguia. He has helped him in his last fight, and now he looks to help Jaime Munguia accomplish his lifelong dream to become an undisputed world champion, defeating Canelo Alvarez. Let's please welcome the man who has been involved in so many legendary fights. He has trained so many legendary fighters. Please welcome Freddie Roach.
Hello, my fighter Jaime, he's doing really well. We had a great training camp for this fight. He's really at the top of the game right now, and we're ready for this fight. Canelo's a very tough opponent, and we know that. But we're ready for whatever he brings to the table, and he's going to be the best. Thank you.
Thank you, Freddie. And now we will head on over to the other side, who will be going and trying to match wits with Freddie Roach. It should be a battle between 2 incredible trainers. First, I want to acknowledge Jose Chepo Reynoso, who is a huge part of the Canelo team and playing a role into it. So he will say a few words.
¿Qué tal? Buenas tardes a todos ustedes, todos y todas ustedes. Contento de estar esta tarde porque hace 20 años, en este mes de abril, llegó al gimnasio Julián Magdaleno, un muchachito de escasos 14 años.
So I'm really happy to be here with you all. Good afternoon, everybody. And, you know, I'm glad to be here because 20 years ago, at just 14 years old, a young man called Julián Magdaleno came to my gym.
Mi hijo Eddy y yo lo recibimos porque su hermano Rigoberto lo llevó. Nos había platicado maravillas de él y bueno, llegó al gimnasio ese mes de abril.
So my son Eddy and I, we welcome him because, you know, Rigoberto had, you know, suggested that he could be someone that we wanted to meet. So we welcome him with open arms.
Y ver todo lo que ha provocado a lo largo de su carrera, pues me llega la nostalgia, pero le doy gracias a Dios por todo lo que ha sucedido. Y les digo, si hay alguien que conozca a Saúl perfectamente, somos mi hijo Eddy y yo.
I can't help but be nostalgic a little bit that, you know, like going by the 20 years that have already passed and thinking about everything that we've gone through together. And I can tell you something, that nobody knows Saúl better than my son Eddy and I. We're really proud of him.
Sabemos lo que se ha batallado, lo que batalló, y sabemos el trabajo que costó llegar hasta donde estamos ahorita, donde está ahorita, y es trabajar, trabajar y trabajar. Son muchos años de trabajo, pero que lo tienen a donde está ahorita. Y donde está ahorita es una gran oportunidad de seguir demostrándole al mundo la clase de boxeador que es él, y aparte el rival que tiene, un gran rival, merece la oportunidad, y son dos guerreros mexicanos que se van a enfrentar donde es la meca del boxeo mundial, como es aquí en Las Vegas.
Have there been challenges along the way? Sure, but in the end, we surpassed everything that we had to face because we worked, and now Saúl here has an opportunity to continue writing his story, to continue crafting his legacy. And he has a great opponent in front of him that also deserves the opportunity to go after his own glory. It's going to be a battle between two Mexican fighters, two Mexican warriors, and it's going to be something that you don't want to miss.
Seguramente el mundo va a ser testigo de una gran guerra entre dos mexicanos. Por eso, que viva México y que viva el boxeo mexicano. Muchas gracias.
It's a sure thing that the world is going to witness a war between two Mexican fighters. So, viva Mexico.
And now let's bring up his son, who has helped guide Canelo to being the best fighter in boxing, pound for pound, manager and trainer Eddy Reynoso.
¿Qué tal? Buenas tardes. Muy agradecidos con todos los que están aquí, con todos los que hicieron también posible esta pelea, el equipo de Jaime Munguia, Fernando Beltran, Dazón, PBC. Pues que no queda nada más que decir que estamos listos, hicimos una gran preparación. Sabemos que Jaime es un gran peleador, que tiene un gran equipo, por eso nos preparamos a conciencia y nada más esperar que el sábado digan viva México, porque aquí lo que va a ganar es el boxeo mexicano. Muchas gracias, mucho éxito para nosotros, éxito para Munguia, que baje bien del ring, que baje bien del ring de Saúl, y que sea una gran fiesta del boxeo mexicano, porque va a quedar en la historia del boxeo mexicano esta pelea. Muchas gracias.
Thank you very much, everybody, for being here. And this is going to be a great fight between two outstanding Mexican fighters. I want to thank Team Munguia, I want to thank the Zone, PBC, and everybody that made this fight possible. And in the end, what's the most important thing is that you're going to see a war between two Mexican fighters that hopefully they both come out of the ring like healthy and well. And in the end, the real winner is going to be Mexico. And that we want, for the end of the fight, for everybody to be able to say, Viva Mexico.
All right, and now it is time to hear from our main event fighters. First, with the record 43 victories, 34 by knockout, he's the former 154-pound world champion from Tijuana, Baja California, Mexico, Jaime Munguia.
Bueno, ¿qué tal? Buenas tardes a todos. Muchas gracias por estar aquí. Gracias a todos los que hicieron posible esta pelea. La verdad me siento emocionado, me siento muy feliz de que pues ya estemos cerca de la hora. La verdad creo que tuvimos una gran preparación. Quiero agradecer también a todo mi equipo por todo su apoyo durante todo el campamento. La verdad que lo vuelvo a repetir, me siento feliz, me siento emocionado. Ya quiero que llegue el día y pues esperen todos una gran guerra mexicana y pues viva México. Muchas gracias.
Thank you very much, everybody, for being here. I'm so happy, so excited. It's almost fight day. I want to thank my team for being behind me the whole way, and you can expect a full-out Mexican war. So tune in. You're not going to be disappointed, and I'm looking forward to what's going to be a great fight on Saturday night.
And now it is time to meet the face of boxing, the 4-division world champion. He recently dominated the undisputed 154-pound champion Jermell Charlo back in September. He is the undisputed super middleweight world champion, the WBC, WBA, IBF, and WBO super middleweight world champion, Saúl Canelo Álvarez.
Muchas gracias. Muchas gracias a todos por estar aquí. Como siempre, bien preparado, con mucho entusiasmo, contento de poder presentar esta pelea entre dos mexicanos, la primera vez en la historia, peleando los 4 títulos, contento por eso, que estamos a unos días, obviamente él viene a ganar, yo vengo a ganar, eso quiere decir que va a ser una gran pelea, ¿no? Nos respetamos abajo del cuadrilátero, pero no quiere decir que vengamos a jugar matatena, ¿no? Venimos a pelear, venimos a darlo todo, el sábado vamos a ganar contundentemente y a eso venimos, que todo el mundo disfrute y que sea una fiesta mexicana. Y para este imbécil intento de gente que tengo aquí a mi izquierda, que no se le olvide que yo ya vine siendo el Canelo a Estados Unidos y que solamente lucró con mi nombre, nunca perdí un solo centavo, sino nomás ganó dinero. ¿Ya le pagaste a Golovkin lo que le quería robar? Sí, muy bien, porque sí, también, pero si no hubiera metido a mis abogados me lo robas. Es lo único que hace este hombre es ser una lacra del boxeo, robarle a los boxeadores. Para el que esté con él, meta por favor ahí a sus abogados porque seguramente les está robando. Es lo único que viene a hacer al boxeo. Y a lo único que viene es a robarle la atención a Jaime Munguia. No viene a promoverlo. También le roba la atención a la gente que hace las cosas para la cocina. Ya no saben si hacerlas como consoladores o como cazuelas o algo. Porque acá se las mete el muchacho. Gracias a todos. Nos vemos el sábado.
All right, now we got a few questions for both of our fighters as we are getting set. First, we'll get a translation from Martin Batar.
All right, so as far as the fight, it's going to be a great Mexican war, and like Munguia and I, we both come to win, but I can guarantee you that I'm going to win, I'm going to prevail, and it's going to be decisive. So you guys are gonna see a great fight. I want the fans to really enjoy Saturday night, and I'm proud to be here and to make history with both Mexican fighters fighting for the 4 belts for the first time. And then as far as what De La Hoya said, well, you know, like Canelo has his grudges against De La Hoya, and you know, where like he doesn't believe that what De La Hoya said was warranted. And you know, where he thinks that, you know, with the Golovkin fight, that there were some things that Mr. De La Hoya said or did that.
He tried to steal money, and he's a fucking asshole. That's what I say. He's a fucking asshole. He tried to keep the attention for him, not for Munguia. He's a fucking asshole. He steals his fighters. That's what he do.
Focus on your fight. Okay, and yeah, so that's pretty much it. Go ahead, Miguel.
Fucking pussy. Motherfucker.
All right.
I'm here for you too, motherfucker.
All right, let's turn our attention back to Canelo and Munguia as we are going to open things up for some questions. Thank you, Martin, for translating, and they'll continue to translate throughout our questions. So, question to Canelo. You have been a part of so many major events, Cinco de Mayo, an all-Mexican showdown. Is there a little bit of extra getting ready for this fight because it is an all-Mexican showdown on such a big fight weekend for Cinco de Mayo?
I'm feel better than ever, and I'm ready for this fight, and I know it's gonna be a great fight. I don't know how many rounds, but it's gonna be a really good fight for the Mexicans, for the Mexican history, and I'm proud about it. I'm proud about it.
And do you believe, because a lot has been said of your experience versus youth, do you think experience is going to give you the advantage Saturday night?
I don't really pay attention is younger or older. I'm different. I'm Canelo. I'm different, and I don't care. I think my experience, my talent, my intelligence is different.
For Jaime, you heard Canelo, he said he's different. He is, you know, you've had 43 fights, you're undefeated, former world champion, but this is no doubt the biggest stage you have been on of this magnitude fighting Canelo. How are you looking forward and how have you prepared for this week?
¿Cómo te estás preparando para esta semana, Jaime?
No, bueno, la verdad yo creo que sé que Canelo es un gran peleador, sé que tiene experiencia con grandes peleadores, grandes nombres. Yo también pues no he tenido experiencia así con grandes nombres, pero creo que lo que tengo y hasta dónde he llegado me lo he ganado a pulso, entonces yo creo que también tengo la experiencia, tengo las ganas y me preparé para ganar y para que el sábado sea una gran noche.
Well, Canelo has a great deal of experience. He has gone up against great fighters. I may not have that resume where I've gone up against so many great fighters, but what I do have is youth on my side, and what I want to do is be able to showcase my capabilities and what I'm able to do inside the ring to be able to come out with the win in the end.
Now, this is your second fight with Hall of Fame trainer Freddie Roach. Has he spoke with you? Has he talked with you on, what to expect for a big fight week, because he's been a part of so many major fights in boxing history? What have you learned from Freddie, especially in particular for this camp and this fight week?
Bueno, yo creo que la verdad creo que me he acomodado muy bien entrenando con Freddy, creo que es una gran persona, es un gran entrenador, la verdad creo que pues nunca se deja de aprender, yo creo que trabajamos muchas cosas en general en este campamento y pues vamos a demostrarlas el sábado.
I feel great training with Freddie. He's not only a great trainer, he's also a great person as well. We worked on so much during our training camp, which has been amazing. And you're going to see on Saturday night everything that we've learned throughout this preparation, and the fans are going to be pleased.
Now back to Canelo. For this particular fight, we know Jaime in his history, he likes to press forward, he likes to throw a lot of punches. Are you expecting a physical fight Saturday night?
Yeah, that's what I expect, and I really like it. I like his style, and I hope he doing the same. I really like it because it's going to be a great fight if he come with that style.
Now, you spoke about how this is such a proud moment for Mexico. Do you feel like it's a little bit tough because Munguia has his countrymen and his fans that follow him, root for him, and then you obviously have a giant fan base in Mexico that follow you, and now you're kind of putting those two against each other? Or do you feel it's more of a celebration on Saturday night?
No, I think I feel happy for that. It's more the celebration. This fight is for them, no matter what they support. I think this fight is for them, and I feel proud about it.
Now, Jaime, yesterday at the Grand Arrivals, Canelo said, he feels great coming into this fight, and he believes he can finish you inside 8 rounds. What's your response?
Bueno, pues la verdad que yo creo que va a ser una gran pelea. No creo que sea así como lo dijo. Pienso lo mismo, pero al contrario. Entonces, creo que eso me gusta. Me gusta que venga con esa mentalidad de ganarme, de noquearme, y yo también voy con la misma mentalidad.
I like the fact that he thinks that way. I like the fact that he wants to knock me out, but I come with the same mentality. I think the same for him, but the other way around, that I'm going to knock him out. I think it's going to be a great fight, and you never know what can happen.
This question's for Freddie Roach. This is your second fight with Jaime. How have you been able to get more comfortable with Jaime? And what have you seen that's a little bit different during this camp compared to the first camp you had with him?
The difference is his work ethic, training every day, sparring partners. We had 6 sparring partners for this camp, and we ran through all of them. And he just did really well, and he's ready for this fight. He's a winner, and he's going to show it.
Now, my question on Canelo's side is to Eddy. You have been up against some incredible trainers, and now you're up against Freddie Roach. What is it like to try to match game plans with a guy like Freddie Roach?
De la misma manera que sentí cuando le ganamos el primer campeonato en mi carrera como entrenador, con el Chololo Larios.
It feels the same way that when I won my first title as a trainer with Larios against him. It feels exactly the same way.
Contra Israel Vázquez.
Against Ray Vázquez.
And now, back to, Munguia, as we look forward to Saturday night. A lot of people have talked about the experience, but this has been a dream of yours, since you started. You were on the same card as Canelo when he fought Triple G back in 2018. What is it like now to step into the ring against Canelo on Cinco de Mayo, no less?
Bueno, sí, fue la última vez que peleé en Las Vegas. La verdad fue pues algo muy emocionante, fue un gran escenario, pero pues ahora el estar aquí pues representando como estelarizando esta función, la verdad que me siento contento, me siento feliz y muy motivado.
I feel very happy and very motivated to be heading this great card in this great stage here in Las Vegas. What happened back then was amazing, but this is another level, and I'm really glad to be here and really excited to show you guys what I can do.
How do you prevent yourself, because you have been very respectful towards Canelo in the build-up to this fight. You acknowledge how he is an incredible fighter, he's a legend, going to be a future Hall of Famer. But we've seen guys in the past get in a little bit trouble, almost giving them too much respect once they're in the ring. How do you prevent that from happening on Saturday night where you give them too much respect?
En el pasado, los oponentes de Canelo quizás le tuvieron un poquito demasiado respeto a él dentro del ring. ¿Cómo vas a hacer para, entre comillas, faltarle respeto dentro del cuadrilátero y poder superar esa barrera de la admiración?
Bueno, yo creo que pues arriba del ring ya es otra cosa, ya pues se pierde el respeto. Obviamente pues estamos en un deporte donde los dos queremos ganar y salir con el brazo en alto, pero yo la verdad pues como siempre lo he dicho, lo respeto abajo del ring, pero arriba del ring pues se termina el respeto.
I've always said, and I'll say again, outside the ring, he has all my respect. Inside the ring, the respect goes out the window, and that's what's going to happen on Saturday night, because once I step in there, it's a war.
All right, I believe we have now some fan questions for both Munguia and Canelo. So they've been sending in their questions as they've been watching the press conference, and I believe we have one from Roshin Gurung. He says, Jaime Munguia, given Canelo Alvarez's status as a boxing superstar in Mexico, it's likely that your family, like many others, has been following his career closely. How does it feel to now share the ring with someone who may have been a household name for you growing up?
¿Cómo se siente el haber seguido a Canelo a través de los años, seguramente junto a tu familia, viendo las peleas frente al televisor, y que ahora lo vas a tener enfrente como un oponente? ¿Cómo se siente enfrentar al ídolo?
Bueno, la verdad me siento contento, me siento feliz conmigo mismo, con toda la gente que me ha apoyado, porque pues gracias al esfuerzo y al trabajo que hemos puesto, pues hemos llegado hasta aquí y la verdad me siento muy contento por eso.
I feel happy, very proud of myself and the team that has brought me along to this point, because everything we have done has brought us here, and that fills me with pride.
All right, and now I think we have a question from a fan who's been watching for Canelo. It is from I'm Not Joss. Canelo, do you think Munguia has the power to put you into trouble, or will your experience stand out and lead you to victory?
No, of course he has power. He's a good fighter, but I think I'm a strong fighter and I can handle that.
All right, we'll wrap things up with this. Jaime, May 4th from T-Mobile Arena, Saturday night, after the fight. What is the result? How does it end?
¿Predicción? La predicción para la pelea del sábado, ¿cómo termina? ¿Cuál es el resultado?
Bueno, pues yo obviamente vengo a ganar. Sé que eres una peleadura, pero vamos a salir con el brazo en alto.
I've come here to win. It's going to be a tough fight, but in the end, it's going to be me with my hand raised.
Same question for you, Canelo. How does Saturday night end?
Lo que dure la pelea va a ser muy buena pelea. No se la pueden perder.
Let the fight last however it's going to last. You're not going to want to miss it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you heard from both Team Munguia and Team Canelo, as well from Jaime Munguia and Canelo Alvarez. It should be shaping up to be a tremendous main event for Cinco de Mayo fight weekend. Once again, this is presented by Canelo Promotions. It all goes down from T-Mobile Arena May 4th. You don't want to miss it. We're going to have both fighters now face off and get one final shot. Thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, media. Saúl Canelo will be on the stage. Line up over here, stage left. Television first, print media and video go to the other side for Munguia. Everybody take their time. Go.
Warriors all around.